So I recently reviewed another limited edition fragrance by Calvin Klein called Eternity Reflections. And here we have a limited edition release by the brand Hugo Boss. And I think that kind of creates this impetus for us to buy the fragrance, knowing that they're only making 1 or 2 batches and once it's gone, it's gone. Well, this one is Boss Bottled Pacific, and it's a limited edition eau de toilette concentration. I'm excited to talk to you about this brand new 2023 release, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode, and I give you my thoughts on the brand new Boss Bottled Pacific Limited Edition by Hugo Boss, and I give you my thoughts on the smell, the notes, the performance, longevity, comparisons, all that good stuff. I do want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon and click where it says enable all notifications. This way you could be notified whenever I do upload these daily videos. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you learned something today, or if you took anything of value from today's episode. Now, of course, Boss Bottled, which used to be called Boss Number 6, is one of my favorite fragrances, composed by Annick Bernardo. Kind of has like this cinnamony apple vibe about it. I truly love it. And of course, the scent and a lot of the other flankers are also really good fragrances. So here we have a summer flanker, and of course, I'm always open to something on the bright, citrusy, fresh, perhaps even oceanic side of things, and that's precisely what you can expect from this one. This is definitely, as if you couldn't tell by looking at the bright blue bottle, this is a summer-oriented release from the brand, and all of the notes are conveniently printed on the back of the box. In the top, you have lemon essence and a salted accord. In the heart, you have a coconut accord and cypress. In the base, you have sandalwood notes and cashmere wood, or perhaps cashmeron. In any case, I'm gonna let you know what I think about this salted coconut type of a fragrance, but let's go ahead and start things off with a quick look at the presentation. Now, right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get this salted appeal. Now, it doesn't smell salty in the sense that it's going to smell briny or like, you know, being in the middle of an ocean. There are some salt-based fragrances that actually smell like seaweed or algae. They smell kind of fishy. Selmaron by Healy is one of them. And I really love that fragrance, and I appreciate for the artistic merit, but it's not one that I would personally wear on a regular basis. I like having it as a novelty and for reference purposes, but it's not actually something that I wear with any degree of consistency. Here you have a fragrance that is highly wearable, right? So much so, there are so many bright, fresh, redeeming factors about it that I think it's that compliment getter type of a fragrance. If you want to make a good impression, if you want to get compliments from people, I think Boss Bottled Pacific is the fragrance that will enable you to do that. What I think is really cool about this fragrance is that coconut accord that is in here, and it's creamy, it's a little lactonic, it's fruity, it's not sweet at all. There's a lot of coconut based fragrances out there that are kind of gourmand leaning. Some of them are perhaps even feminine leaning. Then we have like my favorites like Virgin Island Water by Creed. This one is very different from all of those. As a matter of fact, that creamy, smooth, subtle coconut paired up with the cashmere wood kind of gives it this creamy, indulgent vibe that I would compare to like a fig accord. And a lot of times coconut is used in the synthesis of a fig accord. And that's why this fragrance reminds me of fragrances like Purple Fig by Wilhelm. It's not as juicy and fruity or sugary as Philosopos by Diptyque, so don't expect that strong of a fig. If anything, it's kind of similar to Marc Jacobs for Men, which is like that rectangular bottle with that big black cap, and you know, it's discontinued now, so you can't really find it anymore, but that was a fig leaf based fragrance, and I love that fragrance. So I'm happy to know that there's a more oceanic twist on that DNA, and this fragrance is actually really nicely done. It's really pleasant. I was surprised by it. You know, I bought like 6 or 7 designer fragrances recently all at once. I bought the new Paco Rabanne, I bought the new Q by Dolce & Gabbana. I also bought Gentleman's Society by Givenchy, Eternity Reflections by Calvin Klein. I bought a bunch of designer fragrances. This happened to be one of them, and this is actually one of my favorites from the lot that I purchased. So I'm really impressed by what this brand did for this particular summer release. Now, that's to say that if you already have a lot of aquatic fragrances in your collection, you might find this to be redundant. If you already have a fig or a coconut fragrance in your collection and, you feel like that's really, fitting the bill for you, this might be redundant. So next time you find yourself in Macy's or any department store that happens to carry it, I purchased my bottle from my local Macy's. Just try it for yourself. See if you like it. But I actually really enjoy the vibe that this fragrance is giving across. The most recent Hugo Boss fragrance that I reviewed, I'm searching for my bottle off in the distance there, that also kind of had like this coconutty, waxy orris type of a vibe to it. That one is a bit more starchy, a bit heavier. This is a bit fresher. And when I think of the name, I'll bring it to your attention, but it's off in the distance and it's not coming to me right now. But very pleasant, very fresh. It has that compliment getter DNA, and I like that it does things a bit differently from other plain, boring old generic aquatics, and Lord knows I own many of them and I've reviewed many of them on my channel in the past. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this fragrance is not totally unique in the sense that I've smelled other coconut-based fragrances, I've smelled fig-based fragrances that smell very similar to this, and there are other fragrances that have toyed around with the idea of like a salt accord, but I really enjoyed the overall smell. Very easy to wear, compliment getting type of a DNA, smooth, oceanic without being overly salty, and I think the pairing of ingredients is very tastefully done. Longevity on this one is about 7 hours on my skin. It is eau de toilette. In terms of the projection, it was great for the first hour of application. For like the first half hour, it radiated beyond an arm's length. There's a bit of citrus in here as well. Might not be listed in the note breakdown aside from the lemon, but I'm getting like this lemon, bergamot, bright citrusy combination. 45 minutes into the development, it's within an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 4, a skin scent right around hour 7, but it is a summer-based offering. In terms of the versatility, great for the hotter weather, spring and summer, great for a casual scenario. It does have some characteristically masculine components, but I suppose anybody can wear this one, wear what you like, wear what makes you happy. These are just recommendations. I think it's a pretty versatile fragrance. I think the only restriction is that I wouldn't wear it formally and I wouldn't wear it in the colder weather. In terms of the presentation, I think the blue bottle definitely gets the point across rather clearly that this one is, a summer-oriented flanker, and it is a limited edition. So if you do like it, I would just urge you or highly recommend that you purchase it, because my speculation is that it's not going to be available come, October or November of this year, maybe on a discounter, but as of right now, because it is a brand new release, you can only buy it in department stores for retail. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you took something of value from today's episode. This is Boss Bottled Pacific Limited Edition by Hugo Boss. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon and give this video a thumbs up. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.